And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Rex April Madness Playoffs, day number 1. I'm, of course, your side VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chats, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to our second broadcast of the day. We were live earlier this morning with the Biggest Star Monday, and now we're here. We're live with the Rex April Madness. Here we go. This has been a month-long event for the entirety of the month. We have been going through the group stage, and now we're here with the playoff brackets. Here we go. We have our top 8 players. We have herO, Zoun, Clem, Rogue, Bunny, Solar, MaxPax, and Classic. We have our top 8 players here that have made it to the playoffs. Again, we went through the group stage throughout the course of the month. I do recommend the VODs for the group stage, but now we're here with the playoffs, and we have our first series, our first best of 5 of the broadcast. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of herO, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing his new team, Team Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing his new team, Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our best of 5 PvP. Again, tonight we have 4 best of 5s. Basically, the entirety of the quarterfinals is going to be casted and streamed here for you live on the channel. And in 2 days' time, then we get the semis and the finals. The semifinals and the finals are going to be in 2 days' time. Tonight, we have purely the quarterfinal matches. 4 best of 5s. Let's go, man. Let us go. For now, we're going to be loading into herO. herO is going to be the smallest map in the tournament map pool. It is the rush map as well, known for aggression, known for all-ins, and we'll see if our players do indulge in that. As already, we do have Zoun sitting up on the low ground, going for a gate into Cybercore into expansion. Meanwhile, herO is sitting up on the high ground, but I believe going for the same build, going for a gate, Cybercore into Nexus as well. This looks like the beginning of Phoenix Wars, assuming both players open Stargate. Cybercore is now on the way for herO. Cybercore also on the way for Zoun. You can see herO, he is attempting to expand, but Zoun so far is on patrol. He is delaying said expansion, and we do see a Zealot force out from herO. So already Zealot is going to be forced out. We have Zealot from here, we have Zealot from Zoun as well. So far so good. Mirrored build. herO does have the high ground setup, but overall the build itself is the same. So the same build, just a different setup, different way of going about things. Zoun will have a much more secure natural with the Sim City, with the wall off. herO's own natural is going to be more open and more exposed. Cybercore about to finish up. We should be seeing pylon blocks here from our players, and we should be seeing Stargate. Speaking of it, there it is. Stargate from herO, Stargate from Zoun. Again, the reasoning why this was the beginning of Phoenix Wars is because both players are going to be delaying each other's expansions. Because they cannot expand, they have to spend their money some way, somehow, and that money is spent on the Stargate. So far so good. herO the first to expand, the first to run the Nexus. Meanwhile, Zoun not too far behind. And again, because both players scout each other, because herO just saw the Stargate, Zoun did not see the Stargate, but he can assume the same. We should be seeing Phoenixes. We should be seeing Phoenixes, and we should not stop making Phoenixes. Now, herO earlier yesterday, we did see herO versus MaxPax. herO did have a dominant performance against MaxPax with Phoenix Wars when it came to the Sky Toss kind of setup here. And herO, he's going to embrace that again. We'll see if Zoun can compare. We'll see if Zoun can put on a better showing than MaxPax on Monday. Let's go. So far, we are going to be setting up. Phoenixes are going to be building up as we speak. So far, we have mirrored builds. We are even on the Phoenix count. But there are a couple of different ways you can approach this here, of course. You can try to catch your opponent out of position. You can try to catch, as already Zoun rushing across the map. Oh, calm down. Zoun moves out. He has to pull all the way back. And now, when it comes to this setup here, there's some certain timings that are available. The first one is here. The second Stargate is on the way. Because of the faster second Stargate for Zoun, that means he will have a faster additional Phoenix and faster Phoenix production here. Greater Phoenix production compared to herO. herO shouldn't be too far behind with his own Stargate, but again, this one is just very early for Zoun, and we'll see if he's able to take advantage of that timing. So, cheeky move here out of Zoun. Stargate is almost done. herO is still only making one Phoenix at a time. Ooh, and we see why. He's going for a Stargate Phoenix opener into a ground switch. This is very difficult to pull off. Now herO, he is heavily reliant on Zoun being passive. If Zoun is passive, if Zoun is too tentative, too defensive, then herO will get away with this, what should be a Blink Stalker transition. But again, it's going to be heavily reliant here on Zoun just giving herO time, and Zoun shouldn't. But we'll see. Of course, herO, he has a reputation, true. I mean, herO, he is the best Protoss player in Korea, arguably the world as well. So there's that kind of intimidation factor at play, I'm sure. Here he moves down. He's got 5 Phoenixes. He's down a Phoenix. Stacking here from Zoun. Does move out. So here he does poke in. Zoun trying to set up. And so far Zoun is stacking, and Zoun does have a massive Phoenix lead at this point. He's going to be up, I say massive, he's still so far up 1 Phoenix, but he's still producing more behind this. Oh, he's supply blocked. Brutal supply block for Zoun. That is going to heavily slow him down, actually. Yeah, the supply block is brutal. We have the fleet beacon on the way. And you know, here comes herO coming in with sentries, coming with stalkers. And again, herO, he should be further behind when it comes to Phoenixes. But that supply block, it tells me that here he's only down 1 Phoenix. He's only down 1. He's camping the production. Shield battery's on the way. There's a Guardian Shield, and he's going for the pylon. He's going for the kill, going for the production. And the pylon, it's gonna fall. And Zoun can't do anything. Not anymore. He can win the battle in the sky, but it may not matter. Here moving in. Again, still has that ground support. Shield battery's almost done. Boys are being pulled. Here he has to kite back. Checking the trades here. Here he will lose all his Phoenixes, down to 1. Final Phoenix goes down. And here he's going to be cleaned up. But how much damage is he dealing here? It's going to be 9, 10 worker kills, more stalkers. They do rock up as well. And herO, he's done it. At this point, he has done it. He has crippled Zoun. And again, Zoun, the supply block was just at the worst moment possible. Just at the most brutal moment. It meant the Zoun, he just couldn't be active. He couldn't be aggressive. As another Phoenix falls. Again, that's going to be 24 probe kills. And herO, again, he has done it. So GG gets called. herO just reinforcing 4 stalkers at a time. And herO takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Very impressive play there by herO. Very quirky all-in. Essentially, that was a 2-base all-in. herO hitting a strong timing there with 4 gateways to reinforce his Phoenixes. It was just very unfortunate that Zoun, he got supply blocked at the wrong moment, so he was actually not as far ahead as he should have been with his Phoenixes. As a result, that meant that fight was just even worse for him. He had even less to defend, was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. It did strip away the ability for Zoun to be aggressive and to be active on the map. And with that, herO takes game 1. herO does take game 1. Here we go. What are going to be Cloud 9000 giving the number of PvP fights? I mean, again, Phoenix Wars have always been like a commonality in PvP, especially when it comes to max packs getting involved. Specifically, I mentioned this before, but PvP has had a meta shift coming into the new patch ever since October, November of last year, and since then, Phoenix Wars have been more common because max packs openers, or these more economic openers, have become more common as a result. They've all become more common. And here we go. We're now loading into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, in the series 1-0, representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss, the other South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. Our Phoenixes will blot out the sun. Exactly, Pipe, exactly. Let's go. Let's go. So players are building up and settling in. Now, coming into Killer's Mile, as opposed to the other maps, here it is going to be, I was going to say it is going to be more difficult to get away with an economic opener, but considering the ramp coming into the natural, I mean, there is a pretty wide open choke point here on the left-hand side. So I would imagine 2 gate openers. I would imagine. We'll see. I mean, herO, he is one to cut corners. There it is, 2 gate opener out of herO. And 2 gate opener out of Zoun. Okay. So far, so good. So we do have our 2 gate openers. Again, this map is not really as conducive to those more greedy builds. I mean, again, that's another big factor, of course, is the maps. The maps, they actually play a big role into whether or not Phoenix Wars are going to be seen, just because some are more or some are less kind of accepting to that kind of style. And less viable. But the big one here, of course, is the fact that there's no ramp coming into the natural, as it is more accessible here to the aggressing player, so not as safe to open up with a Stargate and open up economically. For now, though, again, 2 gate openers. We're still waiting for our 2 units of choice. We can open up Double Adept, Double Stalker, Stalker Sentry, or Sentry Expand. What are we going for? Cybercore is done, and we have our Double Stalker opener out of Zoun. Meanwhile, Double Adept out of herO. Let's go. Now with the Double Adept opener here, he's going to be the aggressor. He's going to be zooming across the map. He can reinforce this with a 3rd and 4th Adept, and even a 5th and 6th Adept as well. He can go up to 6 to zoom across the map to deal economic damage. We'll see how hard herO does commit. Regardless, he is initially going to be set aggressor. Zoun is here ideally to scout to figure out what exactly is going on and what is coming his way. As the Double Stalker was confirmed, so here he's aware. Double Stalker into a Stargate. Okay, Stargate before Expand. Meanwhile, herO Double Adept into Double Stalker. Into a more delayed expansion, but it is going to be Nexus before Tech. There it is. There's that Nexus. So here he will have the greater economy. Meanwhile, Zoun will have potential for harassment. With that Oracle opener. That's going to shade in. So far they are denied. Yeah, god damn it. Here we're going for his own Stargate opener. Now, if both players scout each other, then we should start Phoenixes. But for the time being, neither player is fully aware of what's going on. herO has not seen the main. Meanwhile, Zoun hasn't seen the main base either. They're both playing Stargate, but both, unbeknownst to each other, are playing Stargate. So it should just be Oracles. Should just be Oracles here. Now, I'm sure comparing herO, he should be aware that his base is slightly faster. That might be a bit of a tell. Oh, he does spot this. He does spot this, does intercept. Nice pickoff. Oracle, it does zone away. Oracle zone away, and there it is. Phoenix for herO, as now he knows about the Stargate opener. Now he's aware. Nice force field, locking down the army. Takes down one of the Stalkers. But he will lose everything else here. He does try to trade, but this is a better trade for Zoun. herO getting caught out. That was not the play. That episode do shade into the mineral line. They get 1 probe, not even. There's nothing here. Oracle gets across the map, and so far Zoun getting better trades. Picks off 2 probes. Zoun, he defends back at home. He reset the sentry count. Phoenix is hunting down the Oracle. The Oracle does not get away. And the Oracle is hunted down. Does go for the recall, and it will barely escape. Whew. Barely recalls in time. As herO is still rallying across the map. Now, because of the high Stalker count, because herO lost all those sentries, I don't really see herO doing much damage here. I mean, Adepts have potential. No, they shade in. Adepts, they shade into the main base. They will commit. And they can one-shot probes. They get 1, they get 2. They only get 2. 2 probes go down. herO shades down to low ground. Likewise, getting caught out. Adepts do fall. And behind this to catch up here, he is going to be opening up Immortals. So Immortals are a really good way. If you do know that you're down in Stalkers and down in Blink and just down in army supply, then Immortals, they do make up for that. They allow you to do a lot with a little, I should say, with a... Oh, I see Oracle will distract. Does even force a warp in. So it's hallucination. But it is a way to recover, is a way to kind of bounce back and make use of your limited supply. So both players are expanding, taking their 3rd bases. Phoenix into the main. said main base. Likewise here behind this. Just building up. Building up on 2 bases. Again, here he's going to be the defender as he's just building up his immortals, getting into charge, working towards +1. Zoun is heading in a similar direction. The game is slowing down. Just by calming down, man. You're calming down. From here, our players are just getting into their now 4th bases. Again, just a really passive setup here. I mean, partly because herO was overly aggressive and the aggression failed. Again, to reiterate, herO, he lost his Stalkers, lost the Adepts, he lost his Sentries as well. Like, it was a really rough start for herO. So it makes sense for herO to be stuck at home and stuck defending. I would say that the onus would have been on Zoun to have been a little bit more active in the aftermath of the failed aggression. But Zoun, again, just playing it safe instead. Playing it safe, playing it more secure, close to the chest. So I do place this a little bit more on Zoun. You know, we have the Bay on the way. herO going to be cutting corners, going straight into disruptors. Now, when it comes to the tech path of our players and kind of the direction that we typically go in, it is going to be Charger into Archon Charger Immortal into Archon production. That's typically the direction that you go in coming into the mid game, which is what Zoun has. We can see though that herO, he delays his Archon production in favor of the Bay, which gets scouted, and in favor of disruptors. Again, disruptors, they are a good way to, again, just kind of skip tech, and they're the ideal kind of even mid to late game unit that you want here in PvP. It is risky just because now there's an extended period in time where herO does not have Archons, but Zoun isn't really being aggressive, right? Like, Zoun is being more passive, so herO, he gets away with the disruptors. So here he cuts corners, and now he will have a greater army as a result, as the forces of Zoun are very vulnerable to Purification Novas. At this point, I wouldn't even be opposed to a second robot for double disrupt production from the side of herO. Disruptor has arrived. Now, Zoun, checking his vision, remember, he did scout the base, so he knows, and his answer are Phoenixes. Okay, this is a good alternate answer. I say alternate. Typically, the opposing Protoss player would go into their own disruptors, so we'd have disruptor wars instead, like disruptors versus disruptors. Instead, we can see Zoun is going into mass Phoenix with double Stargate Phoenix production, and that'll be his answer to those disruptors, to lift the disruptors and to deny the Purification Novas. So bold move. Meanwhile, here is moving out. Supplies are neck and neck. herO does poke in. Never going to be going off. Never goes off. Nice lift. Oh no, I missed it. Oh my god, that was close. Jesus. Does lift the disruptor. Yeah, with that Zoun, he will take the fight to a force back herO. He has a greater concave. The better engage, even picking up one of those immortals. And herO is just getting picked apart here. Losing immortal after immortal. I mean, both fights just went south here for herO at the start of the game, and here towards the mid game as well. Zalsu trickle in. Never goes off. Does connect. Okay. Does connect, but herO is down to 1 immortal. It's not going to be enough. Yeah, it's nowhere near enough here. Just 1 immortal. It's going to go down. Archon as well. And herO, he has nothing remaining. Just nothing remaining here. That was just not the fight to go for. Lost everything in the process. We have 1 more disruptor coming in. Once again, gets lifted. herO is just up against the wall at this point. Now, he does reinforce with charge slots, and Zoun does not have any Archons remaining. No Archons yet. But he just reinforced more Zealots. And there we go. The Prism has arrived. He can just keep warping in, keep reinforcing. And Zoun looking to fight back. Looking to try to claim in game 2 here. Again, here he had a strong showing in game 1, but coming into game 2, there was some shaky moments for herO. Did bring them up earlier, and here he just was unable to recover. He was overly aggressive. Now he's got his Colossus, but that it should not matter. Zoun trying to chase him down. Can't quite get on top of the Colossus. Here he kites back well. kites back to the shield batteries. Archon still moving in. Let's also go for another dive. And the Phoenixes, I mean, they're kind of tickling the Colossus. They're helping in their own way. They're doing what they can. It's still a bit of an awkward assault here from Zoun. There we go, lifts one of the Stalkers. Command got just ceasing whatever he can. Crowd controlling. Oh, the Immortals are going to be going down though. Again, herO, I mean, thanks to the shield battery, thanks to some of the side defense here. Does pull off a defense, getting up to 2 Colossus. Okay, herO, he's holding on. Despite the rough fights here, these Colossus have been doing so much in the back line, and we mentioned the Phoenixes, they don't really do much here. They just tickle the Colossus. They can't lift them, they're already in the air. They're already lifted. Meanwhile, Skytoss, Jesus, Zoun just tacked up even further. He skipped Disruptor straight into Skytoss instead, into Carrier. Getting ready for the late game of PvP. Now, Carriers, they are a very niche unit in PvP. They do quite well in certain circumstances, specifically if you are ahead in tech. If your opponent has Skytoss, if your opponent has a Fleet Beacon and Stargates, then you don't want Carriers, you want Tempest. But if there are no Stargates or Skytoss units from your opponents, then you can get away with just Carrier. Which the counter to that would be Tempest, and then you have to make Tempest yourself, and then it's Tempest versus Tempest. So Romite does deny, does force a cancel. But here just hyper-fixated on a ground-based army. And I mean, it's quite an army. He's up to 4 Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. It's built up to 4. Now moving out. Meanwhile, there's so far 2, soon to be 4 Carriers. Zoun, he needs a little bit more time. And he's about to max out. He's almost there. So that's causing a distraction. Here moving in. Pushing up the ramp. Carriers are revealed. And where's the anti-air? Remember, there's no blink. Yeah, there's no blink for these Stalkers. They cannot get under the Carriers. Not easily, I should say. Gee, the Colossus, they just rain down on the Crown Army. The lasers are insane. And the Carriers have no support. The Carriers are exposed. Has to pull back. More Stalkers warp in. The Archon support as well. And here he's breaking through. He's breaking through. Carriers, I mean, they can be good, but they do need that ground support. Ideally Disruptors, but there are none. Yeah, Disruptors are the key unit that Zoun is missing. As the Immortals, they go down one after the other. herO pushing forward. Once again, trying to get under those Carriers, and he will. There we go. 1 Carrier goes down, he gets 1. He gets 2. And herO, the comeback, like herO, he took some really rough fights this game. He was down, but he was not out, so the Colossus was the answer. And what's the counter to the Colossus? Typically Disruptor. And Zoun, he skipped it. Remember, he skipped Disruptor tech going straight into Carrier, and we saw that just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it in the end. Carriers on their own, they need that supportive ground army, and there was nothing there. Not against the Colossus. And wow, I'm impressed. I mean, the tenacity of herO. Again, herO, he was losing his army, he was up against the wall, he was forced all the way back to his bases, but no, he was able to buy time, build up his Colossus, and yeah, from here, herO is just outscaling Zoun. Crazy. And sure, I mean, Zoun, he still retains his 4 Carriers, but as we mentioned before, like without any support for the Carriers, and they don't really mean anything. Here's moving out. Going for another massive warp in. Zoun trying to push forward. Nice kiting by herO. Just getting free shots off here on the Archons. And he dives in. This time he dives in. Blink is done. GG gets called. And herO, he will claim game number 2, taking a 2-0 lead. GG. That was crazy. GG, well played. herO, he was down and out. So once again, I want to reiterate what we just saw. You can actually see it right here. Here he's the red line, by the way, and here he plummeted in supply, plummeted quite hard. I'm shocked that he was able to survive the push and survive and buy time and build up those Colossus. And again, you saw that those Colossus, they were ideal. They shut down the ground army, and the Phoenixes that that Zoun was relying upon were useless. They were useless against the Colossus. They were doing a great job just picking up and lifting disruptor after disruptor. But against the Colossus, they really just didn't do much at all. They couldn't really deal much critical or really meaningful damage to the Colossus. Likewise, they had a hard time actually finding any kind of crowd controlling units as well. GG. GG, well played with that. herO takes a 2-0 lead, and here he is one game away from claiming the entire series. Now, I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for Zoun to fight back and put a point on the board and extend the series here. I mean, he was close. Like Zoun, he was so close last game. Just barely didn't get there in the end. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can bring it back. Up next, we're loading into Sandworm. Let's go. Loading into Sandworm. Sandworm being another one of these smaller maps. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sandworm, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss, the South Korean Protoss, leading the series 2-0. It is herO. After a crazy comeback in game 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the other South Korean Protoss, representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. We go. So players are settling in. And again, Zoun, he was looking so good that last game. I'm loving the scouting out of Zoun, his reaction as well. He confirmed the disruptors. He was able to completely nullify the disruptors as well. He had some good fights. He had a good showing. But unfortunately, it did kind of slip through his fingers there. It took him a little bit too long. He wasn't able to deal any critical damage when he got across the map. And likewise, here he did buy enough time for those Colossus. And it wasn't just that. I should emphasize as well that Zoun, he did make the decision after he was kind of running out of steam. He actually still had a greater economy or a comparable economy. And remember, he used that economy to transition into what? Into carriers. And we saw that carriers was just not the answer there. We spoke about how carriers have their place and they definitely have their strengths in PvP, especially coming in towards a longer and later game. But as we clearly saw, without any disruptor support, so the carriers on their own, they actually don't do much. Not against that kind of robust army that herO is working with. So I was quite able to pull that off. Oh. Got him. As we are settling in. And again, what I was getting at was, of course, that Zoun, he didn't quite... I mean, he had the option, if he wanted to switch into disruptors, if he so chose to. Did choose to skip that, and in the end, I would say was punished for that. For now, though, do have our 2-gate openers all around. So double gate or 2-gate Stalker here, double Stalker from Zoun. Meanwhile, we do have double Sentry out of herO. Speaking of triple, Jesus, opening up triple Sentry. It's crazy. It's a lot of sentries. I was waiting, when it comes to my response, shout out to Kanoya, by the way. Kanoya is a French caster. I was waiting for one of the others to respond. We went for it. It's all good. Big shout out to Kanoya. So far, nice. Oh my god, the force fields are insane. With that here, he locks down both the Stalkers, and he will eventually get one of them. Barely one. Whew. Takes down one, the other is recalled in time. And Zoun gets the hell out of there. Does pull out. Behind this, both players are going to be working towards their Twilight Councils, mirrored builds for the time being. I mean, I say mirrored builds. Of course, the initial units have been different, as here is heavily reliant on these sentries early on. With that, we'll have plenty of hallucinations, plenty of scouting, plenty of vision across the map. As there's the edge overcharge. Here he's pushing. Now this is a deadly force early on. The reason why this force is so deadly are the force fields. This early on, there's no blink. Like, sure, we have a Twilight Council and we're probably going to be working towards blink, but right now blink is a non-factor, which means force fields hold even more power here than they otherwise would. Speaking of hallucinating a couple of stalkers, it just tanks some shots, and again, ideally looking to lock down the army and force field the hell out of Zoun. Speaking of, Zoun does have his own kind of force fields. He locks down 2 hallucinations. Aye. The force fields are solid, but unfortunately he caught the hallucinations instead, and with that, Zoun has less engine to work with. With that herO, he's looking to move in. Zoun setting up a proxy. Zoun, he's on 2 gates so far, getting a 3rd. This looks like a 4th gateway across the map. This looks like a 2-base all-in. Does look to be a 2-base all-in here from Zoun. herO going for the center gold. Bold move. Goes down a couple of force fields. Trying to catch out one of those stalkers. Looks like he may be able to. Gets a couple of volleys off, but last that was a lot of force fields spent for herO. He pulls away. Pulls away, doesn't get what he was looking for. Hallucination confirms the 3rd gate. He knows, at least he's aware of the 3-gate setup. What he doesn't know is there's a 4th gateway across the map. So again, 2-base, 4-gate blink all in here from Zoun. herO is rushing into the 3rd, rushing into the gold. On top of that, very greedy play by herO. And we'll see if Zoun can punish that greed. Here we go. Zoun, he's up in stalkers, as he should be. herO, he's aware of this. He has shield batteries on the way. The shield batteries, they may be enough to help support him and help make up for the lack of stalkers. Also, did I say 2-base 4-gate blink all in? It is 2-base 5-gate blink all in. That's a lot of gateways. That's a lot of gateways here for Zoun. Zoun pushing forward. Moving into the army, takes out 1 stalker already. 1 stalker goes down. Here he has to fall back to the shield batteries. Shield batteries, they do top him up. Pushing up a ramp, pushing into a concave. Here he's out of energy. He's out of energy on the shield batteries already. herO pushing forward, and more weapons on the way. There's the energy overcharge, not bad. herO barely maintaining himself, blinking on forward. But there's just still so many stalkers. Yeah, just so many stalkers for Zoun. Zoun, he should overwhelm. He should, and he will. Again, here he was just too greedy, far too greedy. Rushing into the gold of 4 bases. And Zoun, he's done it. Again, Zoun came so close to taking the game in game 2, but here in game 3, he is looking secure. Depowers the shield batteries, going for the kill. This time, there is no comeback potential here. We do have an immortal on the way for herO, but 1 immortal is not going to be enough. It should not be enough. Where's being pulled? herO kiting back. He wants that immortal. Attempts a flank. Bleeds out 15 probes. Ay. Not like this. Immortal pops out, and he wants the immortal. He wants it. He gets it as well. Sassy immortal keeps going with the warpins. Once again, boys being pulled, and there's just no way for herO to survive this. GG gets called, and Zoun, he will take game at number 3 and put a point on the board. GG. GG, well played, Zoun. He is still in this series, is still in this game. Zoun able to pull off the all-in, and again, herO, he unfortunately just did not see this coming. He did see the 3rd gateway. That was a tell of aggression, but he failed to see the proxy. The proxy with 2 extra gateways. So, was not aware of the all-in till it was too little, too late. GG. GG, well played. With that, we do have a series here. We have a back and forth. Jumping into our next game. Next game is going to be on Ultra Love. Here we go. I'm going to be jumping into Ultra Love. And we'll see if Zoun can force the ace match or if herO can recover. Oh boy. As this map, it screams Phoenix Wars back. Oh no. Not again. Well, going back to the Phoenixes. At spawning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. For Twisted Minds, it is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player for Team Vitality. It is Zoun. As Zoun is setting up here on the low ground for a gateway into Cybercore, into Stargate, into expansion. herO doing the same, but setting up on the high ground in the main instead of at the natural. Regardless, there should be the same mirrored builds between herO and Zoun. Here we go. So we'll see if we do once again embrace Phoenix Wars. And we'll see if Zoun is able to tighten up his Phoenix Wars as well. As a reminder, last time we saw that Zoun did get supply blocked. At the worst moment. Hoping he can, again, have a cleaner execution this time. As we do have our initial Cybercore follow-up. So gate into Cybercore out of herO, gate Cybercore out of Zoun. Oh, Zoun, he did take some extra hits though. Yeah, the probe takes a lot of damage, which means Zoun, he will not be able to deny the expansion. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's just taking too much damage. I mean, the Zelda's still on the way. You see Zoun double back. Okay, still being annoying, making use of those shields. Shields do recharge, and there's a pylon block. So Zoun is forcing the Stargate. Likewise, so is herO. There it is, Stargate for Zoun, Stargate for herO, Phoenix Wars. So Phoenix Wars are upon us. To be expected on a map like Ultra Love. Now, last time we saw this out of herO, he did actually go for a 2-base all-in with a 3-gateway setup. Sorry, I should say with a 4-gate setup. After the Phoenixes. I don't expect to see that build once again though. There's expansion for both players. And we should be embracing proper Phoenix Wars between the two as well. Here we go. As the first Phoenix is on the way for Zoun. Oracle opener out of herO. Ooh, this is a bold move here. It is very difficult to pull this off. Now, this might be Oracle into Phoenixes, and the goal would be to avoid the first Phoenix of Zoun and to try to get behind the army and to try to get into the mineral line. It is not easy, but it is possible. herO pokes in. Here he confirms, of course, the Phoenixes. Going for a second gateway. He's going for a ground switch. Okay, bold move. He's going into a ground switch instead. The Adepts bust into the main. They will get one probe, not even. And that's skin up here by Zoun. herO moving out with the Oracle. He's aware of the location of these Phoenixes. herO biding his time. Going into a Blink follow-up. Going into Blink Stalkers. Oracle's on the way. There's actually not that many probes here at the natural. Likewise, Phoenix is here on patrol. Oracle dips in. And how many probe kills? He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3, 4, up to 5. 5 workers go down. Gets a revelation towards the end. Barely does catch the Phoenixes. Back at home. Oh, Adept does bust into the main. Gets 2. Takes down 2 probes, and here he's stuck at home. Here, at this point, he's stuck at home. What you see is Zoun, he's switching into his Robo. This should be for immortal production, as we said before. If you're down in Stalkers, if you're down in a Gateway Army, you do need those immortals. And we'll see what Zoun can get done. Gets into the mineral line, gets another 6 probes. Nice damage here from Zoun. Very nice. Does get some good damage. Rise does attempt to drive by. herO, he just sends it across the map, setting up his own proxy gateway. How many gates? 4. So, hey, it's almost a role reversal. Almost here of what we saw in Sandworm, where herO is going for his own blink all in. And Zoun is going to have to try to hold on here with Phoenixes and with Immortals. Now again, Zoun, he was so quick to respond with his Immortal production. He already has 1 Immortal on the high ground. He does not really have much ground support with that Immortal. He has the Phoenixes, he can always lift. I'll be honest, with the Phoenix count this high, I don't really see herO breaking this. Loving hallucination. herO true can try to bypass the main army, or ideally try to catch out a Phoenix with his blink. herO is poking in. Which Immortal is real? Going for the Cybercore. Cybercore is going to get picked up. 2 more volleys. herO, he doesn't go for it. Pulls away, getting extra warp ins. Now, as herO is warping in, he is on 2 base saturation. He's getting a third. He's getting a third base. herO, he's not committing. He will get the Cybercore. But herO, he may not want to actually go into the natural. May not need to. It's a gateway. Again, just very careful control here by herO because of the Cybercore. Gateway doesn't go further in. Meanwhile, Zoun, he's up to how many? He's up to 3, so it'll be 4 Immortals. Oh, going for the dive. He gets 1. Takes down 1 Immortal. We'll go for the other as well. He gets 2. And he'll get all 3. All 3 Immortals going to be going down. Massive pickoffs. Phoenixes, they can only lift 1 Phoenix. They can barely do anything here. Lifting 1 Stalker at a time. And it's not enough. It's not enough herO. He has done it. It catches out with his pants down. Takes out all the Phoenixes. Takes out all the Immortals. 1 Immortal's left. Reinforcements have arrived. Triggers the shields, kites back, looking forward once again, going for the Immortal, 1 more volley, and that's enough. Takes down the Immortal, and herO, he has done it. He has done it, he has broken the back of Zoun. GG gets called, and herO, he'll pull off the all-in, he will break Zoun, and take the series 3-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played herO. He will claim the series. Again, very intense game there by herO. Opening up Stargate, yes, but switching out of Phoenixes into a ground base all-in. Very risky move out of herO, but it did pay off. Unfortunately, Zoun, he was unable to punish, unable to do much against herO, at least economically. I do think there was potential for Zoun to get some probe damage, but Zoun, he was so careful with the Phoenixes. It looks like he didn't want to waste his energy. Looks like he was concerned about preserving the energy for a defense mechanism instead, and with that, herO does claim it. GG. Well played. herO, he does claim the series, and with that, we are getting ready for our next matchup here, for our next best of 5. Let's go. Let us go. As exclamation mark B in the chat, you guys want to have a look back yourselves. I believe vetoes are underway for our next series. Up next after the break is going to be a best of 5 between Clem and Rogue. Let's go. It's going to be a Stars Agora rematch. So we're going to be going on a short break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain the disruptors, massage your marines, and we'll return with some Terran versus Zerg. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.